Hey everyone, Frugo here, the channel that just never uploads anything. But today we're not gonna be talking about TF2 actually. We're gonna talk about my predictions for Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 Royal is a remake of Persona 5. The game is a JRPG in which you enter palaces and then fight shadows, collect personas, and steal treasure. But when you're not in palaces, you are at school, hanging out with your friends and dating your high school teacher. What makes Persona 5 great is the fact that when doing things outside of the palaces, it helps you out in battle. For example, when hanging out with your Ryuji and achieving a certain level of friendship, or as in the game they call them social links, you can obtain the ability of having a chance to defeat enemies instantly without fighting them, and also getting a persona in the process. If you ask me, that's a great deal. But there's a big minus to all of this. Your time in game is limited. You only have 1 year to do all these things. So you must balance your normal life with your palace exploring defeating shadows. So that's what Persona 5 was about in a nutshell. Now let's go ahead and predict some things about Persona 5 Royal. I do believe that this is the most important thing to add to the game, because the players that have already completed Persona 5 will of course want a new experience in the palaces they had already beaten before. We already know that Kamoshida's castle has been revamped in some ways. They have changed how the castle looks and its mechanics. For example, they have added the new grapple hook feature, that I think will let players move through areas faster if they are able to find a place within the palace in which they can use the grappling hook. Hopefully they have changed every palace in some ways, and possibly added a new one. That actually reminds me of something. So remember when playing through Persona 4 Golden, if you have played it, there was this girl Marie, an amnesiac velvet room dweller that by the end of the game actually came out to be a god and had her own dungeon, which sole purpose was to rescue her because she wanted to kill herself. Yeah, that was in Persona 4 Origin. So if a Persona 4 Golden, a remake of Persona 4, had a completely new dungeon and a character, then I can only expect that Persona 5 Royal will have a new character, and maybe, just maybe, that the character will have a palace. I think I have found a candidate for that. If Atlas wants us to beat the new palace, we'll obviously need more time in game. I'd say 2 months in game time. Why 2 months? Well, 1 month will be our group's time to recharge their battery, and a time for the player to rank up his social link, and a second month to beat the new palace. Although in Persona 4 Golden, when you were exploring Marie's dungeon, you only had 1 day to do it, so that is something that counters this prediction. In Persona 4 Golden, the new character Marie was a Velvet Room dweller as mentioned before. And of course, what happens within the Velvet Room doesn't happen without a reason. By that I mean she was a skill card seller. Basically, you were able to purchase skill cards from her, but first you had to have found a skill card before, and then you would have to give it to her, and then you would be able to buy a skill card. So what I predict is that we will have a new feature in the Velvet Room. We probably won't have a skill card seller, since that feature actually somewhat exists within the electric chair. So we will have something different, probably. So these are my predictions for Persona 5 Royal. Will we see these features in game? Maybe. But since you're here already, I just want to say that content will resume on my channel, but it will be more than just TF2. Before I end this episode, I just want to thank Cool Stuff for making the thumbnail for this video, my good old bud Ginge for helping me write the script, and TFG with helping me review the script for this video. Okay, that's all. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and remember to wash your hands.